Good afternoon. Oh, hello and welcome. It's so lovely to see all your happy faces out there. We're going to begin our gathering in a good way by acknowledging that we are on the lands of the ancestors and families of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, known today as the Esquimalt and Songhees nations, the Kusapsum and Lekwungen families and ancestors. And we thank them for their graciousness in hosting us here. What I just did is what we would call a land acknowledgement, and I'm sure that's not the first time you've heard them. You'll hear that again in our ceremony today, and we're doing that on purpose. It is a small sign of reconciliation to acknowledge the ancestors and families who have been on these lands for thousands and thousands of years, are still here, and who will continue to be here for millennia more. My name is Roberta Mason, and I am Vice Provost, Student and Academic Services here at Royal Roads University, and I will be your guide through this amazing, important, wonderful ceremony. It's my privilege to extend a very warm welcome to you all, because today marks our 52nd convocation, and we're so pleased you've all been able to join us. So a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. If you haven't already done so, as part of our initiative to make our ceremonies more environmentally friendly, we don't have a paper program, as you probably figured out by now. And so there is the QR code on the screens, or as you came in, please scan that to see the order of procession. Second, in just a few minutes, I will ask you to, not just a few minutes, like in 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you to rise as you are comfortable as the academic party comes in, and if you will stay standing until you're asked to sit, that would be great. And last but not least, no surprise, if you haven't already done so, please turn off your cell phones or other devices that make noise. We don't want to disturb others, and I know you won't want to be embarrassed either. Thank you for that, and please just stay tuned. We're about to get started. And we're starting. Please rise if you are comfortable and remain at your seats for the academic procession and the Honorable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia.
Oh, ah, hey, ah, hey.
chair. Please join me in welcoming Lekwungen Elder Butch Dick, who will begin this afternoon's ceremony.
Oh, hi, Skasiam. And hi, Squatchel. Good day. Asa Yuchelipton, Chileasan Lekwungen. Asiam Nush Jelicha, Asiam Nush Walakwa. Haishka Quantana Techel Lekwungen Tunnel. Haishka Siam Nequilia. My First Nation name is Yuchelipton, and I'm from the Songhees Nation, one of two nations that are part of the Lekwungen speaking peoples. And it's my great honor to be here this morning. Your Honor, thank you for being here this morning. Railroads faculty, thank you for the invitation to be here with you. It's a very special day, and I know that. I've seen so many convocations, I can't help but get excited about it. So I must tell you that before I go to sleep each night, I have a good conversation with the Creator. And a lot of times, the grandmothers and grandfathers like to join in that conversation. And we have a really frank talk about what tomorrow is going to be like. Sometimes the talks get pretty interesting. But when we stop talking, we have one thing in mind. I have one thing in mind. And I have one expectation. And that is I'll wake up in the morning. And I'll wake up in the morning with good people. And I'm able to walk the earth with good people, breathe the good air with good people, drink the good water with good people. And this morning, you really answered that in a big way. Look at you. You're not only good people, you're amazing people. With amazing educators, amazing parents, friends, grandparents. Thank you for this honor for being here this morning to do the welcome. It always touches my heart and my mind because you have to put those two together, always. So, Haishkwashyam, thank you for being amazing, good people. Haishkwashyam.
Thank you, Whalipton. Thank you for reminding us that we are amongst good people, and you certainly are one of those too for us. Thank you. Please join in the singing of our Canadian National Anthem, led by Aidan Holt of the Victoria Conservatory of Music.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us commend. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Aidan. It is now my distinct privilege, please be seated. It is now my distinct privilege to introduce Her Honor, the Honorable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia.
Thank you so much, and I'm so glad you invited people to sit down because I've made that mistake before and got halfway through my speech before I realized the whole room was still standing. In fact, I did it fairly recently. True story. So many friends, many distinguished guests. It's such a happy occasion here today, and I'm delighted to be here to share this with you. As always, I do want to acknowledge the Kosapsum and Lekwungen peoples upon whose traditional territory we gather today, and to thank them for sharing these lands in peace and friendship. Badly pronounced, but good day, friends. It's wonderful to be among you today, and I do mean that so very sincerely. I would like to thank Elder Butch Deck. I'm sorry, I thought I had committed your name to memory and it just zoned on it, but I mean your traditional name, but I want to thank you for the gift of a traditional welcome, which is so meaningful, I think, particularly in this context. And just to take a moment to reflect on the importance of land acknowledgement, because I'm really proud to see that it's being adopted broadly across British Columbia and indeed across the country. But it's important that it be more than just a pro forma statement. And so, as a seventh generation Canadian myself, whose ancestors came to Cape Breton, Nova Scotia during the Scottish clearances when their lands were taken away by the aristocracy, they found a great deal of happiness and success here in Canada, and that is success that I have subsequently benefited from. But I'm conscious that it has come at the expense of Indigenous peoples. And so for that reason, I feel a deep responsibility to be a visible and a vocal advocate for reconciliation and to think about what I can do in my personal life and in my professional role as Lieutenant Governor to contribute to the healing that is needed in Canada. Haitchkasiem. First, let me say how honored I am to participate in the conferment of degrees today. And I wish particularly to congratulate Carrie Newman on receiving an honorary Doctor of Laws today. Since becoming a Lieutenant Governor, I've come to know Carrie and his family, Elaine and Addie, personally. And I want to say to you, Carrie, how very much I admire you and value your thoughtful and empathetic approach to everything that you do, and how very grateful I am for your friendship. Above all things, Carrie is a storyteller. He is perhaps best known for honoring the stories of residential school survivors through his monumental, three-dimensional, and deeply moving art installation, The Witness Blanket. The Witness Blanket is a powerful act of reconciliation that has awakened Canadians, awakened us in our hearts, to the tragic legacy of colonialism and its corollary of dislocation and oppression, loss of language and culture. In reflecting on the meaning of reconciliation, I'm reminded of Thomas King's introductory words in The Inconvenient Indian, which he begins with the ironic comment that Canada is, according to Canada, a just society. King is right to point out the disparity between Canadians' perception of our country and the reality in relation to the appalling historic treatment of Indigenous peoples. The Witness Blanket brings that disparity into focus, not through anger and recrimination, which would certainly be legitimate and understandable, but through its tenderness and through the loving and respectful treatment of each object woven together with the human stories that each object illustrates. By embracing these stories in our hearts, perhaps we can begin to move into better alignment with our aspirational vision of our country and our Canadian values of fairness, equality, and justice, aspirational values. What is required is nothing short of revolutionary, but the revolution we seek will not happen overnight if it is to herald real change. Hi, sweetheart. What's that saying? You never compete with children or dogs? Hi, sweetie. It's wonderful to have children in the room today, and it's really a reminder of the future, so don't worry about that at all. So what I want to say is that the revolution we seek will not happen overnight if it is to herald real change. Of course, it will require policy reforms, investments in social and physical infrastructure, and a sustained long-term commitment. These things are fundamental, but in themselves, they're not sufficient. We must also seek a revolution in the understanding and attitude of all Canadians, a revolution that is grounded in a genuine embrace of the hard truths of what happened in residential schools. It must take root in our relationships with each other, across cultures and social barriers, in communities, within families, and between generations. Carey is an artist, a master carver, a filmmaker, and many more things, but he is also a weaver. Through his art, he brings together different strands in our community and works generously to make us a harmonious tapestry, balanced and with a place for all. He is undaunted in knowing that this is a never-ending task, but one that makes life worth the living. Thank you, Carey, for wrapping us all in the gentle embrace of your magical work, keeping us warm with hope for that better future we all envision and desire. And now, to all the honored graduates, you're to be congratulated on completing a rigorous program of studies through which you've gained valuable expertise in your chosen field of study. You've also had the privilege of participating in a learning culture that is deeply committed to the principles of reconciliation and is defined by a drive for equity, diversity, and inclusion. A culture that holds community betterment as a core responsibility and values real-life involvement and engaged learning as the best way to ensure a civil society and a sustainable future. It's a culture that nurtures curiosity and embodies the meaning of Yeats's reflection, and I love this one. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. To the university leadership, faculty, and staff, I thank you for upholding this culture. And to the graduates, I guarantee you that the experience of studying here will manifest in your future life and work in profound, positive, and sometimes unexpected ways. Your time at Royal Roads has prepared you to lead our society in finding new and creative ways to respond to climate change, to advance reconciliation, to alleviate poverty and inequality, and to ameliorate the restructuring of our economy and society flowing from rapidly accelerating technological advance. In responding to these challenges, I encourage you to remember that all fields of knowledge are connected, that knowledge should be shared within and across disciplines, and no one person or discipline has all the answers. I encourage you to make a conscious effort to reach out and engage deeply and constructively with those whose views are different from your own, to listen with curiosity, and to be willing to change your views when confronted with superior reasoning, well supported and well argued. These are the skills that enable us to have the kind of real conversations that can move us to those places of compromise in between the extremes of public opinion. It's customary to give gratuitous advice to new graduates, and in this vein, I would like to frame my advice around 3 words: ambition, success, and community. I encourage you to be tireless in search of meaningful ambition, and by that I mean success and happiness as defined by you yourselves, not by others or by society's cliched symbols of success. I encourage you to have ambition, not just for your career, but for your whole life and your community. to put your ambition to work in support of something bigger than yourself, the collectivity within which you work, the community in which you live, and the larger society in which we all reside. I ask you to remember that the future is not something we passively enter, it is something we create. And the choices we make now will shape the world for all who come after us, for better or for worse. So why not decide right now to make it for better? That is my call to action to you today, and I ask you to answer that call in big ways and in small, with compassion and generosity, and with all your strength of heart and mind, knowing that the future depends on each one of us. And as we look to the future, let us draw inspiration from our honorary degree recipient, the marvelous Carey Newman. Let us follow his example by working together to create a world where ideas flourish, culture is honored, and innovation is nurtured, where our natural environment is protected, and where compassion, empathy, and inclusion are the cornerstones of all our interactions. All that we can be of spirit, ambition, and goodness, and all the promise of what we can do, all of this is before you. And so I ask you to reflect on Nietzsche's famous invocation to dream no small dreams, for they have no power to stir the soul, and show the world that we can be more than individual actors engaged in pursuits that serve our own self-interest, but rather citizens who share responsibility for each other and for the planet and must act accordingly. Seeing all of you here today gives me hope for that better world we all envision and desire. Haichka, merci, Siam. All the best.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. We're deeply honored that you would be with us today, and also I can't imagine that any of us thought that was gratuitous advice. Thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Philip Steenkamp.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. So great to see you all here this afternoon, graduates, family, and friends. Your Honor, thank you so much for your words, and thank you for coming to this important ceremony. Your wonderful tribute to Carey as well. We're deeply, deeply honored to have you here. Butch, our respected elder, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence as you do so many times, and your guidance always. Mr. Chancellor, honored guests, faculty, staff, proud families, and of course, our graduates. I too want to begin by acknowledging the lands on which this campus rests. We are in the magnificent Dogwood Auditorium. You might notice that it's surrounded by Douglas fir trees, but somehow we decided to call it the Dogwood Auditorium. We did plant a little dogwood outside, you might have seen it. But just reflecting on these lands, and Elder Butch Dick spoke so eloquently, and I want to thank him again for his welcome here. We are so honored to live and work and play on the lands of the Kosopson and Lekwungen ancestors and families, known today as the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And it is truly with deep gratitude that I come to work every day. I ride my bike along the ENN Trail and the Galloping Goose, and I come down that hill, and I see that lagoon and those mountains, and I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be able to live on these lands as a newcomer, as a guest. So thank you. Graduates, we're here today to celebrate your achievements and then send you out into the world. But before you leave us, I hope you'll take the opportunity to soak in this amazing place one more time. You know, find that spot that has been so special to you here, somewhere in the grounds, the gardens, the woods, maybe in one of the buildings. That's if you ever got outside while you were working. But someplace that has special meaning for you. And if you're here with family or friends, share that meaning with them. And hold that sense of meaning as you leave. We are deeply honored to be able to work, as I said, and to learn on these magnificent lands. And I hope it won't be for the last time that you come and visit. But whether you return to this campus in person or through some collaboration from the other side of the planet or through the network of relationships you've built over your time here, this is only one chapter in your lifelong journey with Royal Roads University. For now, though, you are leaving, ready to take on the world. But what does ready mean in the world today? For a very long stretch of human history, it meant having a particular set of skills, the ability to do certain useful and valuable things. Our ancestors over the years would learn skills like hunting, tanning hides, cooking meals, cobbling shoes, mending clothing, herding sheep, or smelting ore. I'm actually quite glad I don't live in those times anymore. But when they reached a certain level of proficiency in those skills, they were ready. And they might get better at those skills, faster at fixing a roof or more proficient at bringing in the herd. But the skills themselves would remain pretty much the same over their lifetimes and over the lifetimes of their children and their grandchildren. But then things began to change. Our lives began to rely on technologies that evolved at first slowly. From steam engines to railways to steamboats and then to air travel. From the printing press to the telegraph to telephone to radio to television. From manual harvesting to the reaper to the combine harvester. And from the vacuum tube to the first computer to the personal computer. These were all journeys that spanned decades. But we still thought about readiness in terms of having skills, knowing a trade, having a profession, or the idea that so many parents had a generation ago that if their kids just, quote, knew computers, they'd be set for life. And today that hope sounds quite quaint. Back then, it was what passed for career advice. Nowadays, we just take it for granted that the pace of technological change is blindingly fast. Instead of measuring tectonic technological shifts in decades, they come in years or even months. Over the last while, the exemplars of that pace of change have been at different times computer hardware, networked mobile computing, genetic engineering, and big data. And today, with very good reason, of course, it's artificial intelligence. And the capabilities of AI are growing exponentially to the point where even leading voices in the field were suggesting that we tap on the brakes and think about where we're heading. We're still wrapping our minds around the widespread ramifications of these changes. They escape narrow silos very quickly. And I can't think of a single field of human endeavor that is not going to be affected by AI. And we've seen this pace of change far outside the bounds of technology. Social and political change is happening just as quickly, in some ways for the better, but we also seen democracies crumble and authoritarianism rise. We've seen rapid changes in our climate and our environment as the impact of human activity has scaled to a planetary level. And we've seen governments, businesses, institutions, and communities scrambling to keep up. So it is long past time for us to re-examine what ready means. Because readiness for the kind of future you're facing is on a whole different level from possessing a set of skills and competencies. What does ready mean in a world where generative AI can ace bar exams and write compelling business cases? In fact, I got AI to write my convocation speech today as well. I'm kidding. I did test it. I said, could you write a convocation speech? And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, actually. I would argue that today ready does mean possessing skills, but it also means the capacity to learn new ones. And more than that, the capacity to quickly identify what those skills are and how to develop them. Today, ready means the ability to see and synthesize information about the world around you and project it forward a month, a year, a decade, or even longer. It means the ability to adapt to change and see the opportunities to shape it. It means the ability to stay focused on big goals and basic values, on humanity, justice, and equality in a world where the landscape is constantly shifting. It means the ability to connect authentically with each other, to collaborate across disciplines, across differences of background, perspectives, and opinions, to address problems that are much larger than ourselves. It means, in short, those larger encompassing skills you have built and demonstrated so well in your time here. So graduates, on behalf of the faculty, the associate faculty, the staff, and the entire community of Royal Roads University, congratulations on your achievement. We wish you all the very best success, and we can't wait to see what you will accomplish. Because in that fuller, broader, deeper meaning of the word ready, knowing the work you've thrown yourselves into heart and soul over these past several months and years, we have every confidence that you are indeed ready for this world. And this world, with its profound challenges and its glimmers of hope, is more than ready for you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Steenkamp. And you are ready, aren't you? Now I invite our Chancellor, Nelson Chan, to the podium to give us some words of inspiration. I'm just promoting you as we go, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberta. That's the easiest degree I've ever gotten. Thank you very much for that. I know yours was much harder, so maybe before I get started, I'll take a quick moment because I have a very rare perspective that maybe nobody else gets, but I'm just going to take a couple of pictures. Can I get everyone from this side to just... No, okay, and then one more. Thank you. I'll post that on the Royal Roads website so you can have a look at that. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome our elders, Butch Dick specifically up here, Your Honor, Janet Austin, and all of our other honored guests, President Steenkamp, Royal Roads University faculty and staff, friends and family, and of course, especially our graduates. It's my sincere pleasure to welcome you here, and there's no happier occasion we celebrate than the graduation of Royal Roads students. Friends and family, you may have heard stories from the graduates today about how hard they worked, how much their programs demanded of them in sheer time, imagination, creation, and collaboration. I can assure you that whatever you've heard, it was an understatement, especially the partying. Our graduates have more than earned what we're here to present them today. And graduates, let me be one in a very long lineup of people who are going to offer their congratulations to you on your achievements. It's sometimes said, I have 3 kids at home. I love the sound of children, so no problem. I promise it'll be over soon. It's sometimes said that our character is the sum of the choices we've made. If that is true, then your presence here today speaks very well of your character because of the result of the choices that you've made to get here today. I'd like to talk briefly about some of these choices, the ones you've made today and the ones you'll continue to make into the future. Years from now, you'll be able to look back at the choices you've made that brought you here today, and I hope you'll do so with pride. Because you chose something harder than the path of least resistance. You chose to reach past yourself, to collaborate with others and your community. In that very act of choosing a university focused on making change, positive, tangible change, you said something about your character. You said something about the kind of future that you want to build, for the little ones as well. Choosing to be a change maker in times like these, that's a decision worthy of congratulations. But this wouldn't be a convocation address if I didn't add to those congratulations with a challenge. The challenge, graduates, is to keep making the kind of choices that you've made up until now, and to double down. Our world is in dire need of leaders who choose the harder path, who don't choose to remain in their silos, but choose to connect across distances and across disciplines, who see crises and threats of our time and choose to confront them, choose not to pull away, but instead to lean in. From climate change to food insecurity, from inequality to the impact of artificial intelligence, from the challenge and the opportunity of reconciliation to the rise and hate of intolerance around the world. What path will you choose? If we pull away or ignore these challenges, we'll see our choices narrow very quickly, quite possibly to none at all. But if we lean in and address these great challenges with skill, courage, and compassion, our opportunities and options will expand exponentially. And let me underline compassion. Choice is inextricably linked to privilege, and there are many people in our communities and many more around the world whose choices are extremely constrained. Broadening their choices, expanding their opportunities, is a fundamental part of leadership, and I see a room full of leaders. These are difficult challenges. Choose to persist. Choose hope. Choose to hope that human ingenuity, someone owes me a Coke. Choose to hope that human ingenuity, cooperation, and compassion can effect tremendous change. Choose to hope that you and your colleagues can be part of these changes. Choose to hope that you can play a part, large or small, in shaping our collective future. That's ultimately the choice that brought you here, to this proud day, to this beautiful place. And I ask you to make that choice again and again and again. It will not steer you wrong. It may very well help you steer us right. Graduates, I wish you all the very best the future can offer. 5 seconds, I swear, 5 seconds. I can't wait to see what your future holds. But for today, congratulations, graduates, on a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chancellor Chan, and for reminding us to see opportunities and the choices we have, not just our graduates, but all of us here in this room. It's now my pleasure to share via video shortly congratulations from the Honourable Selina Robinson, Minister of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills for the Province of British Columbia.
Hello, I'm Selina Robinson, Minister of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills. Greetings from the traditional territory of Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nation. On behalf of Premier David Eby and the Government of British Columbia, a big congratulations on your graduation from Royal Roads University. This is an incredible accomplishment, and you should be very proud of the work that you have done to reach this moment. Your graduation means that you can take your experiences, your education, your friendships, and your determination to make a positive difference for yourself, your family, and your community. Royal Roads is renowned for its focus on building a community that is respectful of our differences and providing education to address real-world issues. As graduates, you have equipped yourselves with relevant knowledge and skills to secure rewarding jobs in the field of your choosing. This is an incredible time to enter the workforce, with opportunities in a wide range of sectors. Over the next decade, we are expecting over 1 million new job openings in British Columbia, and 80% of these jobs, they'll require post-secondary education or skills training. You're in a great position to take advantage of the world of opportunities there for people here in British Columbia. Be proud of what you've accomplished. I wish all the very best as you pursue your dreams and make big things happen. Congratulations once again, and good luck to all of you.
And now, we are pleased to confer the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree today, as you've heard from her honor. It is my honor now to introduce Dr. Catherine Inmansky, a professor in the School of Leadership, to present the honorary degree candidate, Carrie Newman.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my great honor to introduce the artist, master carver, public speaker, filmmaker, avid cyclist, and scholar, Hayalth Kingame Carrie Newman. for the Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Carrie is a visionary leader, an exemplary public figure whose work is known the world over. As a professional artist since 1987, an associate professor at the University of Victoria since 2018, Mr. Newman has dedicated his career to telling collective truths about Canada's history and fostering reconciliation. Carrie is of mixed Kwakwaka'wakw, Coast Salish, and settler ancestry. He approaches his work with deep humility that comes from both his cultural teachings and his family's embodiment of reconciliation. Not only is his work about reconciliation, it is reconciliation in action. Carrie brings together people from diverse backgrounds to work toward a common goal. Some of you may have some experience with that as Royal Roads graduates. As those of us who have had the honor to work with him know, he builds relationships with integrity, a gentleness of spirit, and attention, inviting all who enter his circle to contribute to something greater than our individual selves. His most well-known installation, as you've already heard, is the Witness Blanket, and it's a perfect example of this. The Witness Blanket is a national monument of the Indian residential school era, made of over 700 items collected from residential schools, churches, government buildings, and traditional structures all across Canada. Carrie has produced a film and published several works related to the Witness Blanket, most recently enhancing it through a digital experience in collaboration with the Canadian Museum of Human Rights, which is also called CMHR, and TELUS. In selecting a long-term home for the Witness Blanket, Carrie incorporated Kwakwaka'wakw teachings and worldviews into a stewardship agreement he co-developed with the CMHR. And this was enshrined through a traditional witnessing ceremony. Carrie and the CMHR agreed to share responsibility to care for the Witness Blanket. Hi there. To care for the Witness Blanket while recognizing and maintaining the inherent rights of the survivors' stories embedded in the blanket itself. This stewardship agreement is an innovation in and of itself in that it shifts the focus from individual rights to collective responsibility. It challenges typical notions of collection, property, and ownership, and sets an example for relationships between artists, museums, and the communities they serve. Carrie lives RRU's values by undertaking all of his endeavors with courage, creativity, and a deep sense of care. No stranger to RRU, he brought the Witness Blanket to this campus at the end of a Canada-wide tour in 2016. He served as a keynote speaker at RRU's Leadership Conference in 2017, and he spoke on a panel for the MA Leadership Program in 2021. Some of you may even remember that. Last year, he designed and oversaw the laser-cut stainless steel screen titled All My Relations, which all of you saw as you entered this very auditorium. He also oversaw the making of 10 benches milled from blown down wood on the RRU campus that you also saw just outside this room in the foyer. He's currently serving as the Impact Chair of Indigenous Art Practices at the University of Victoria. Carrie is leading countless collaborative projects while continuing to cultivate his professional aesthetic practice through public and private commissions. Among many other accolades and accomplishments, just this April, Carrie was granted an award for outstanding achievement by the Canadian Museums Association, and he received this award in collaboration with the Canadian Museum for Human Rights and the Manitoba Museum for their installation and conservation project titled Preserving a Legacy. Last year, Carrie was given a National Opera Directors Award for his role as a board member for the Pacific Opera. And just yesterday, I learned that Carrie is a former opera singer himself. In 2021, he was granted an Honorary Citizen Award for his outstanding contributions to the City of Victoria. He was also recognized with a Victoria Community Leadership Award for extending reconciliation in 2020. He was named to the Order of British Columbia in 2018 and awarded the Governor-General of Canada's Meritorious Service Medal in 2017. Moreover, as a community builder, opinion maker, resident of Victoria, BC, and proud father to his daughter, Addie. Where are you, Addie? Are you here? Proud father to Addie. He has enhanced the community of Victoria by leading the Hearts and Hands Legacy Totem Pole project at Oakland School, creating the Earth Drums in Cedar Hill Park, raised 2 totems with the Eagle Project at the Victoria Native Friendship Centre, and created Mind, Body and Spirit, an artistic and acoustic installation at Pacific Opera, Victoria. As broadcast journalist Sheila Rogers proudly proclaimed in preparing his nomination, Carrie is one of the most remarkable humans on the planet, and you can quote me on that. And I did. For his commitment to promoting reconciliation, resurgence, and decolonization, and for opening hearts through his artwork wherever it may be in the world. It is my deep, deep honor to present Carrie Newman for the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa. I will now ask the Chancellor of Royal Roads University to confer the degree.
Carrie Newman, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Royal Roads University Act and in accordance with the recommendation of the Board of Governors of Royal Roads University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere appertaining. Carrie Newman will now be hooded by Dr. Veronica Thompson, Vice President, Academic and Provost, while President Philip Steenkamp presents Carrie Newman with the degree. I had the honor of sitting with Carrie and his family last night over dinner. Got to learn a lot about Carrie. As you've probably heard, he's a filmmaker, past opera singer, artist, and I said, you know what, might as well call him a Swiss Army knife. So with that, and he's a great sport as well. With that, and I do apologize, Carrie, he might be the second most interesting man in the world next to Chuck Norris. It is my absolute pleasure and honor to call upon Dr. Carrie Newman to address the convocation. Please.
Wow. Tip that up a little bit. Gela Kessler. I have to figure out how to navigate looking down with this tassel. I want to start by acknowledging Elder Butch Dick, who taught with my father for so many years. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you for the welcome. And Your Honor, thank you for your words. I've driven past here so many times, ridden my bike past here so many times. I grew up in Souk. And when we came here yesterday, my wife reminded me that this is actually where we met. So, lots of reasons for me to feel very connected to this place. Yo, Nugwam Keri Newman, Heman Bacham Pla'i, Hailth Kingame. Through my father, I'm Kwakwakiwak from the Kwekwekum, Giksam, and Wawallabai clans of northern Vancouver Island, and Coast Salish from Chiam of the Stalo Nation along the Upper Fraser Valley. Through my mother, I'm a descendant of English, Irish, and Scottish settlers. This traditional introduction both connects and holds me accountable to my ancestors, past, present, and future. And it's in this spirit that I'd like to acknowledge two people. My father, Victor Hemasaka, an artist, teacher, and residential school survivor, whose resilience made a better life for me and my sisters, who showed me how to become an artist. And to my daughter, Adeline, who inspires me to imagine a better future, for whom I work to make a better world. Graduates of 2023 Spring Convocation, I want to congratulate each of you and begin by taking a moment to celebrate your hard-earned achievements. I'm going to talk a little bit about how art seeds change and about making something bigger than ourselves. When I was 5 years old, I would watch my dad carving masks and rattles in his workshop. He made it look so easy, and not knowing any better, I cut my thumb trying to carve a wooden car. That was the first time that I tried to do something beyond my understanding and abilities. But my parents were very encouraging, and without anyone to tell me what I couldn't do, I never learned any different. I went on to make my career as an artist, and guided by 3 Kwakwakiwak concepts, I try to use my art to make a difference. The first concept is about accepting and honoring responsibility to the past, present, and future. It's a way of understanding reciprocity across generations, and it isn't so much taught as demonstrated in the words and actions of our hereditary leaders. The second is held in the Kwakwala word awit nakiola, meaning to live in good relationship with the land, air, water, spirit worlds, and everything in them. It's a worldview that places humans within rather than above the cycle of life. The third is mayakala, which calls for us to work and speak together in ways that embody respect for the land, for the self, and for each other. When I reflect on my career, I can trace how these ideas have guided my heart and my hands. I can also see how in the process of transforming one thing to another, I too have been remade. To describe what I call being the maker and the material, I think back to when I was a new parent and my capacity for love grew larger than I ever could have imagined the moment our daughter was born. The creative process does something similar, just not as quickly. The lessons that unfold from making each new artwork are slow-growing seeds that often take years to break the surface of my understanding. But both of the projects that I'm going to share with you now have shifted how I understand the world and helped me to evolve as a person. And perhaps that's the magic of art, because at its best, rather than telling people how to think or what to feel, is an invitation for each of us to make our own meanings and significance and imagine things that are bigger than ourselves. In 2010, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission released a call for commemoration initiatives. As the son of a residential school survivor and a new parent, I wanted to make something that would connect the experiences of survivors across the country. After rejecting all of the ideas that were familiar to me, like carving totems or sculpting metal, I realized that to carry the weight and significance of residential school history and to express the individual and collective experiences of survivors, I had to think beyond anything I had made before. After pondering this for more than a year, I came up with an idea: the witness blanket, a tapestry made from objects and memories gathered from residential schools, churches, government buildings, and cultural structures across the country. Today, nearly a decade after its completion, the witness blanket has found a long-term home in the Canadian Museum for Human Rights and has led to a range of related projects that include a national tour, a documentary film, 2 books, a digital education platform, 2 full-scale replicas that continue to travel, a virtual reality project, and even a contract that recognizes the blanket as having legal rights of its own. Every related project has been suggested by someone who saw the witness blanket, felt a personal connection, and wanted to contribute in some way. You see, even though this artwork deals with the worst parts of Canadian history, and despite how that history has affected my father and the rest of my family, instead of shame or blame, it was made to present objective truth through everyday objects. How a person feels about what they see is up to them, but items like hockey skates, braids of hair, letters home, or the tiny handprints that hold open the door in the middle of the blanket evoke personal memories and reveal shared or contrasting experiences, making connections that might otherwise remain unknown. Here is where art seeds change. Because once something becomes personal, it becomes important. And once something is important, we are more willing to turn our feelings into action and take it upon ourselves to make change. The witness blanket has given me a sense of purpose and changed me as a person, but it's also taken an emotional toll. You see, from poverty, racial injustice, and gender inequality to the accelerating climate crisis, exploitation of the planet, colonialism affects every aspect of all of our lives. And although I'm proud of the work that I've done, sometimes it still feels like I'm just treading water. And here is where seeds change art. Because despite the significance of the witness blanket, it's a response to colonial harm. And if I were to spend my entire career reacting to the past and present, then any change that I effect with my art will be influenced by the worst parts of what it means to be Indigenous in this country. But Indigenous people are made of more than our traumas. We are resilient. We come from unique and beautiful cultures. And I want to make art that celebrates that. So I challenged myself to think of a project that would refuse to be defined by colonialism. Something rooted in the resurgence of cultural ways. And from the many lessons I've learned from my art, my family, and my culture, I pieced together a new project that I'd like to share with you now. It's called the seedling, a concept described in 3 simple steps. Plant a tree, design a totem in digital 3D, and commit to make and raise the pole when the tree is full grown, which is about 600 years from now. Drawing inspiration from the wisdom and ways of my Kwakwaka'wakw and Coast Salish ancestors, this project brings together technology, art, and nature, asking us to reconsider our relationships with the land, with time, and with each other. The simple promise to grow a tree and make a totem, generations into the future, invites us to reconsider the systems we accept and imagine multiple pathways to a more sustainable future. Our society is defined by arbitrary timelines and metrics of success that are inherent to our current economics and politics. By taking the perspectives of Indigenous people who've lived sustainably upon these lands since before the Great Pyramids were made, and projecting them far into the future beyond the systems and imperatives of today, the seedling ignites a beacon from the past to lead us into the future. And by enacting our responsibility across generations, we are not only promise a better world for our children and our children's children, we live healthier and more purposeful lives today. How many of you have ever said, I am not an artist. I ask because I can't count the number of times I've heard people say this or something similar. And I believe that this mindset is something that we are taught. Because creativity isn't limited to skills with a paintbrush or chisel. Artistry belongs to everyone, and it exists in big ideas and aspirational dreams. Put a sheet of paper and a box of crayons in front of a 5-year-old child and watch them create entire worlds. But for too many of us, growing up means that our vibrant imaginations are slowly replaced by social and economic obligations. Get a good education, find a secure job, raise a family. In the process of setting attainable goals, sometimes we limit the size of our dreams. Stop attending to our creative voices, and eventually begin to believe that only exceptional people do extraordinary things. But the projects I've described take many hands to make and keep growing bigger than I could have ever imagined. So what would happen if, regardless of circumstance, we refused to let go of our creative beings? Because when it comes to the biggest challenges that we face, we need even bigger ideas to fix them. And to make those ideas into reality, we need hope. We need to believe that there is something that we can do to make a difference. For me, that hope begins with my father, who, despite the traumas of residential school, found his way back to culture through carving, a seed of creativity that he passed down to me. It continues to grow in the form of my daughter, who is already a model of determination and inspiration for me and for others. And it leads to an impossibly big idea. A dream so large that nobody here will live to see it come true. But contained within the seedling are lots of smaller steps towards positive change that everyone can do. Each step is a kind of seed, stretching our relationship with time, respect for the past, present, future. Changing our relationship with land and technology, Owitnakyola. Rebuilding our relationships with each other, Maiakala. So if there's one thing that I'd like to share with you today, it's that from that little wooden car and my very first scar, to the witness blanket, the seedling, and everything in between, it's that everybody can make something bigger than themselves. You don't have to become anyone more than you already are to do something special. You just need to find something that you care about and then let your 5-year-old self show you what to do. When I was at the very beginning of the witness blanket, I had a visit from an Indigenous elder from Ottawa who spent their entire career in politics and academia. He told me, after a conversation about what I was making, that someday someone would earn a doctorate from studying and writing about this project. I just never dared to imagine that someone would be me. So I want to thank Royal Roads University for this incredible honor. I also want to acknowledge my daughter, Adeline, my wife, Elaine, my parents, sisters, friends, colleagues, mentors, co-authors, and my communities. Each of them have helped shape the person I am today, and I want to share this honor with you. And to the graduates, none of us do any of this alone. So, I hope that you take a moment to share your accomplishments today with those who have helped you get here. Gila Kesla, Heidsepka, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Newman. Thank you for the myriad seeds of change you've sown with your art so far, and on behalf of our descendants, for sowing the seedling that will bring that change for the future, the hope that that brings with it for all of us, imagining those descendants generations from now. Thank you so much. Join me again in a round of applause for Dr. Newman. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our Director of Advancement and Alumni Relations, Rebecca Sharma, who is going to come up and introduce our alumni orator.
Thank you, Roberta, and we are going to go straight to a slideshow actually celebrating all of you graduates. So a compilation has been prepared featuring each of you, noting that you are here because of the hard work and the support that you received to get you here today. Whether it was your family, your spouse, partner, friend, or faculty, you likely didn't get here alone. Thank you to your supportive champions for standing by you, cheering you on, listening, encouraging, and sacrificing so you could learn and grow. We join with them to say congratulations, graduates. Graduates, please enjoy this special video celebrating you.
And now, with deep respect to all of the presentations we've had thus far, we're about to move into the moments you've all been waiting for. We're going to start with our Vice President, Academic and Provost, Dr. Veronica Thompson, will present the Governor General's Gold Medal, and then we'll move into recognizing our graduates.
The Governor General's Gold Medal was established in 1873 and is one of the most prestigious awards that can be received by a student in a Canadian educational institution for exceptional academic achievement. The Governor General's Gold Medal is awarded to the graduating student who has presented the most outstanding thesis or graduate project this year. The recipient of the Governor General's Gold Medal is Dr. Courtney Brianne DeFriend, Doctor of Social Science. Thank you, Your Honor, for being here with us to present that award. So now I'm going to ask all of the graduates to please rise for presentation to the Chancellor. Chancellor, I present to you this graduating class of Royal Roads University, on whom you have conferred the degrees, certificates, and diplomas to which they are entitled.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. What a good-looking crowd. What can I say? That's right. Thank you. Ooh, I'm flustered. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors and on the recommendation of the Academic Council of the University, I have admitted each of you to the credential for which you are entitled. I have invested you with all the due rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. May you always be mindful of our motto of this university, living our learning. Congratulations, graduates.
Graduates, please be seated. Chancellor and members of the Board of Governors, we will now present the graduates from their respective programs, and we would also like to acknowledge those graduates who are watching us from afar today. I will now ask Dr. Niels Agar-Gupta to present the graduates we are celebrating today.
Okay, thank you. So I am deeply honored to present to you the graduates from the Doctor of Social Sciences program. And the committee comes up and presents and does the hooding, so that's what's happening here. Oh, wonderful. I'd like to introduce Courtney Brianne DeFriend with the Doctor of Social Sciences, and her grandmother, who has been on the committee, together with Dr. Mary Bernard, will do the hooding. Courtney also is a MITAC's Accelerate, Doctoral Scholarship, the Governor General's Gold Medal, Doctoral Support Initiative, Royal Roads University Student Experience Award, and Doctoral Entrance Award. Kate Pamela Renee Dunn, Doctor of Social Sciences. Kate is the British Columbia Graduate Scholarship, MyTax Research Training Award, Canadian Institutes of Health Research Doctoral Research Award, MyTax Accelerate, and the Doctoral Support Initiative. Congratulations. And Dr. Mary Bernard will do the hooding. Amita Opal Gill, Doctor of Social Sciences, and Dr. Marilyn Taylor and Dr. Mary Bernard will do the hooding. Nelson Regan Jetel, Doctor of Social Sciences, MyTax Accelerate, Doctor of Social Sciences, and Entrance Award. And I missed the dissertations of the others, but let me at least add this. Water Governance, New Performance Measures for Diagnosing a Watershed Organization, and the supervisor, Jeremy Pittman. Congratulations. Should I read the other one?
Recognize these people.
Oh, thank you. Anne Catherine McLean, Doctor of Social Sciences, and their dissertation, Millennials as Second-Person Witnesses of the Holocaust, a case study on the Dachau concentration camp memorial site. Supervisor, Dr. Jeff Bird. That's okay, I'm glad to see you.
Got you.
Laurelie Gale Nickel, Doctor of Social Sciences, and her dissertation, The Pursuit of Integrity, using undergraduates' conception of integrity to inspire teaching and learning innovation in a post-secondary business school context. Supervisor, Doug Hamilton. Tricia Sarker, Doctor of Social Sciences, and her dissertation, Student Post-Secondary Success via Physical Exercise, and her supervisor, Jennifer Willinga. Jana Suzanne Wenzel, the Doctor of Social Sciences, and the dissertation Caregiver Burden and Burnout and the Role Physical Activity and Exercise Play. Supervisor Ronald Lindstrom. Excellent, thank you. I'm honored to present to you graduates from the Masters of Arts in Conflict Analysis and Management. You want that? Yep, okay, good. For the Masters of Arts in Conflict Analysis and Management, Abdul Rahim, Abdul Hamid, Abdul Rahim. Congratulations. Matthew Edward Clarence Anderson, Masters of Arts in Conflict Analysis and Management. Parminder Brar. Go ahead. Esther Nadine Ides. Right. Svetlana Ivoy. Jasmine Marie French. Victoria Emily Golan. John David Lowe. Dahlia Denise Mather. Oh, excellent. Katrina Maya McEwen. Tina Lynn Rogers. Katrina Elizabeth Russell. Matthew James Edward Shell. Royal Roads Founders Award. Kathleen Alma May Soltis. I'm now honored to present to you graduates from the Master of Arts in Disaster and Emergency Management. Timothy William James Abbott. Naveed Hassan Akbar. Michelle Arif. So, Antoine Tony Nabil Bakhash. Lee William Edward Bibby. Catherine Roseanne Helen Branton. Jenica Larissa Brown. Dane Broderick Cameron. Joshua Patrick Doyle. Nadia Christine El Gabalawi. Colin Alfred Evans. Peter. Yeah. Oh, Peter it is. Peter Phyllis. Linda Joy Foster. Megan Nicole Fox. Julie Nicole Freeman. William Daniel Gray. Jason Arthur Humphreys. Kareem Dion Kane. Stephanie Ray Kepler. Jessica Ray Kovach. Krazel? Yes. Stefan Krazel. Ashley Caitlin Manchuk. Grant Avery Rostvik. Kelly Louise James. Carden Elizabeth Georgina Service. Royal Roads University Student Experience Award, Peninsula Co-op Award, Royal Roads Chancellor's Award. Carson Elliott Tunis Theris. Mary Grace Valaire. Danielle Helene Vernoy. the Royal Roads Founders Award winner. Bradley James Williamson. Now honored to present to you graduates from the Masters of Arts in Human Security and Peacebuilding. Celine Julie Best. Pamela Dawn Jaros. Victoria Elizabeth Mary McCain. Evita Mora Perea. Rochelle Padiachi. Wonderful. Bradley Darren Quast. The Admiral John Charles and Mary Charles Scholarship. Sumra Sheikh, winner of the Royal Roads University Entrance Award. Ukiamabasi Aniafok Ukuts. Vivian Wong. Oh, yes, thank you. I'm honored to present to you graduates from the Masters of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. Anita Bandari. Donna June Draper. Emily Grace Epp. Sen Lee. Shawstein Love. Mark Travis McLeod. Alana Lee McConaughey. Sheena Leah Robinson. Gail Ann Lasuk. Chantal Louise Woolley. I'm honored to present to you graduates from the Masters of Arts in Justice Studies. Captain Emily Marie Addicotts, winner of the Royal Roads Founders Award. Christy Lee Den Admirant. Captain Rebecca Fairchild, CD, the Royal Roads University Entrance Award winner. Charity Ray Ham. Melissa Ashley Jan, winner of the Royal Roads Chancellor's Award. Michelle Marie Ray. Cheryl Rousseau. Jacqueline Suchita Rivas. Lauren Grace Zelke. I'm really honored to present to you graduates from the Masters of Arts in Leadership. Yay! Claire Pascal Elizabeth Bertrand. James Scott Bissell. Emily Julia Boardman. Hannah Margaret Cairns. Congratulations. Stephanie Ping Hui Chi. Kobe Michael Dewar. Susan Lynn Eastwood. Laura Ann Ellis. Karen Jane Evans. My student. Melissa Charlene Evans. Tara Christine Ferris. Sheena Chelsea Fulop. Anthony David Gill. Virginia Ann Hervey, winner of the Masters of Arts in Leadership Scholarship. Ashley Michelle Holm. Another student. Alexis Mary Grant Ibbotson, winner of the MyTax Accelerate Award. Tyler James Johnson. Christine Ann Kennedy, winner of the Peninsula Co-op Award. Tracy Celeste Logan. Julia Thompson McKenzie. Carly June McMeekin. Suzette Marie O'Byrne. Shanna Lynn O'Dwyer. Neil Christopher Pukesh. Nicole Ann Ranger, winner of the Royal Roads University Entrance Award. Dara Bellows Taylor. Shiloh Marlene Taylor. Miles Brendan Thompson. Darcy Allen White. Cindy Lee Whiting. Tyler Matthew Willis. Pamela Lynn Zwicker. I'm honored to present to you graduates from the Masters of Arts and Leadership in Executive Leadership. First graduating class. Matthew John Allen. Carrie Axton. Alexandra Helen Thurley Bacon. Winner of the Royal Roads Founders Award, Rowena Brown. Andrew Crocker. Deanne Louise Drouin. Corrine Lynn Everington. Julie Elizabeth Hallowell. Ashton Lacey Harry. Winner of the Masters of Arts and Leadership Scholarship, Daniel Raymond Julian. Winner of the Royal Roads Founders Award, Charlene Margaret Lafreniere. Carol Louise LeBlanc.
You got it.
Chinyea Arai Kamela Magaluke. Andrew Charles Metzger. Dean Kenneth Robson. Sounds good. Cindy Lee Roos. Winner of the Royal Roads Chancellor's Award, the Royal Roads Founders Award, Melina Lee Schofield. Lynn Sitanmezi. Ilda Costa Songhurst. Lori Ann Strandland. I'm honored to present to you graduates from the Bachelors of Arts and Professional Communications. Alberto Machado. I'm honored to present to you graduates from the Bachelor of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. Kaylee Hope Marcinowski. I'm now honored to present to you graduates from the Graduate Diploma in Disaster and Emergency Management. Jake Mark Garland. Is that it? A big round of applause for our graduates.
And now Dr. Steenkamp, if we would come back to the podium for some final remarks for this meeting of the convocation.
Wow, that was amazing. I've just got about an hour or so of closing remarks here. I would just like to ask all the Royal Roads community, all the family and friends to join me in a round of applause for our amazing graduates. Thank you. And because we know these journeys are never done alone, I'd like the graduates to thank family and friends, both here in the room and all around the world, please. So this was a very special ceremony. We were delighted to be joined by Her Honor and delighted as well to bestow an honorary doctorate on Carrie Newman and to be joined by Elder Butch Dick as well. And graduates, please allow me to be among the first to welcome you to our family of alumni. You are part of a network now of Royal Roads graduates, faculty, and colleagues that spans the globe. As we go out into the world tonight, perhaps after you've taken those photos and gone to dinner, I do have one more assignment for you. And that assignment is a simple one. Be the hope, be the inspiration, be yourselves. And to all of you here today, on behalf of Royal Roads University, thank you for coming to celebrate the moment. Thank you for all you've done to support these graduates and to help bring them to this moment. I know that you all share my pride in their accomplishments, and I know you join me and the entire Royal Roads University community in wishing them every success. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Would be remiss if I didn't pause and correct something I didn't do earlier in this ceremony. When I introduced Butch Dick, I neglected to note that he too is an honorary doctorate recipient of Royal Roads University. Thank you again, Your Honor. Thank you, Carrie, our newest member of the Royal Roads family. And thank you all for allowing us to share in your joy of this momentous occasion for all of us. Now, a couple of instructions. You've probably heard this before, but grads, don't forget to go right across the Sherman Gen building so you can throw your hat in the air and we take a picture of you. And some other great photo opportunities. Family and friends, you too are welcome there for a chance to mingle and visit before you head off to enjoy the rest of your evenings. I'll ask you now to please stand as you're comfortable and remain standing as you're at your seats as the academic party leaves the stage. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, ah, hey, ah, hey, yeah, 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 ah, yeah, 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 ah, yeah. Oh, ah, hey, ah, hey, yeah, yeah, ah, Oh, oh,